Have you ever stopped to wonder why goats are mentioned so often in Islamic teachings? What makes this humble animal so significant in the eyes of our Creator? You're about to uncover something extraordinary. Goats are not just animals grazing the earth. They hold deep spiritual lessons, hidden wisdom, and timeless values that can transform the way you see the world. By the end of this video, you'll understand why goats are far more than we give them credit for. And trust me, these 7 lessons will leave you inspired and in awe of their importance in Islam. Let's dive into the secrets behind the goat's silent power. Lesson 1. The first gift of earthly abundance. Imagine this. After being expelled from paradise, Adam, peace be upon him, and Hawa, Eve, found themselves on earth, navigating its challenges. Islamic tradition suggests that among the first animals gifted to humanity was the goat, a sign of Allah's mercy and care. The goat provided milk, meat, and wool, symbolizing that even when we face hardships, Allah always provides sustenance and guidance. Reflect on this. Every time you see a goat, remember that it's a symbol of hope and provision. Lesson 2. The goat's role in divine revelation. Did you know that goats were part of the setting for one of the greatest revelations? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received the first revelation in the cave of Hira, surrounded by the wilderness. Goats often grazed near the caves, and their presence brought a sense of calm and provision to the Prophet during his meditative retreat. This teaches us that even in moments of divine inspiration, the goat quietly stood as a witness to history. It reminds us of the importance of staying grounded while pursuing spiritual growth. Lesson 3. A model of simplicity and contentment. The goat is an extraordinary example of living simply. It doesn't seek extravagant things. Instead, it thrives on what's available, even in the harshest environments. Where many animals might struggle, a goat finds its way, using the resources around it without complaint. This is a quiet but powerful message for us. In Islam, simplicity is a deeply valued quality. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself lived a life of modesty and balance. He didn't pursue luxuries or excess, and goats were part of his daily life, providing milk for nourishment and sustenance. This connection between simplicity and contentment is a lesson we can apply to our own lives. In today's world, many people are caught up in the race for more possessions, more wealth, more status. But if we observe the goat, we see an animal that takes only what it needs and finds satisfaction in it. This can remind us to reflect on what truly matters. Do we need all the things we chase after, or are we missing the beauty of a simpler, more peaceful life? To practice this idea, we can start by appreciating what we already have, instead of constantly wanting more. We can remind ourselves that true richness isn't about how much we own, but about how much we value and make use of what we have. Like the goat, we can learn to live with less while finding happiness and contentment in the blessings that surround us every day. Lesson 4. The unwavering loyalty of a goat. The loyalty of a goat is something truly remarkable. If you've ever observed a goat and its shepherd, you'll notice a unique bond of trust between them. A goat will follow its shepherd, respond when called, and stay close, even in unfamiliar or challenging environments. This seemingly simple behavior reflects a deeper lesson for us as humans, a lesson about loyalty and trust in our relationships, especially with our Creator. Goats rely on their shepherd for protection and guidance. They trust that wherever the shepherd leads them, it will be a place where they can find safety, food, and water. Even when the path is steep, rocky, or unclear, the goat doesn't hesitate because it has unwavering confidence in the one who cares for it. This trust is a beautiful example of how we should trust Allah in our lives. Allah is our ultimate guide, the one who leads us through difficulties and toward what is good for us, even if we don't fully understand his plan. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, often emphasized the importance of trust in Allah. He compared the bond between a shepherd and their flock to our relationship with our Creator. Just as the goat depends on its shepherd for survival, we must depend on Allah for our sustenance, protection, and direction. But trust isn't just passive, it's active. The goat still walks, climbs, and searches for its food while relying on the shepherd's guidance. Similarly, we should do our part, working hard, making efforts, and seeking solutions, while placing complete faith in Allah to take care of the outcomes. This idea of loyalty also extends to our relationships with the people around us. Just as a goat stays loyal to its flock and its shepherd, we are reminded to remain loyal to our families, friends, and communities. Loyalty means being there for one another, offering support, and standing firm in times of difficulty. It's about creating bonds that are built on trust and care, much like the trust between the goat and its shepherd. In a world where trust is often fragile, the simple loyalty of a goat can inspire us to be better in our relationships and in our faith. It reminds us that trust isn't just a feeling, it's an action. It's about showing up, staying connected, and believing in the guidance we receive, whether it's from our loved ones or from Allah Himself. The next time you see a goat following its shepherd, think about the quiet yet powerful message it carries. Let it remind you to strengthen your trust in Allah, to stay loyal to those who rely on you, and to build relationships that are grounded in care and faithfulness. After all, loyalty isn't just a virtue, it's a way to live a meaningful and connected life. Lesson 5. A reminder of balance and moderation. Goats are a living example of balance and moderation, something deeply emphasized in Islam. If you've ever observed goats grazing, you'll notice that they never destroy the land they depend on. They forage selectively, taking what they need without exhausting the resources around them. They leave enough behind for other animals, for the land to regenerate, and for future sustenance. This simple yet profound behavior is a reminder of the Islamic principle of balance, or mizan, which Allah has established in all aspects of creation. The Quran beautifully captures this concept in Surah Ar-Rahman, and He raised the heaven and established the balance, that you not transgress within the balance. 55:78. Allah has created the universe with perfect harmony, and it is our duty to live within that harmony. Goats, in their modest way, teach us how to respect this balance. They don't overconsume, waste, or hoard. They take what they need and leave the rest. In our modern lives, this lesson is especially important. Many of us live in a culture of excess, where more is often equated with better. We accumulate possessions, consume resources beyond what we need, and sometimes even waste what could benefit others. This kind of lifestyle disrupts the balance that Allah has placed in the world. It not only harms the environment, but also distances us from the values of gratitude and mindfulness. Goats, however, remind us to live differently. Their behavior shows us that moderation leads to sustainability. When we consume only what we need, we leave room for others, be it other people, animals, or even future generations, to benefit from the resources Allah has provided. This is a reflection of ihsan, the Islamic concept of doing good and being mindful of our actions in all aspects of life. But this principle of balance isn't just about the environment or material things. It's also about our emotional and spiritual well-being. Just as goats know when to move on to fresh pastures, we should recognize when it's time to step back, reflect, and avoid excess in our personal habits. Overindulgence in anything, be it food, work, or even entertainment, can disrupt the balance in our lives and affect our connection with Allah. Moderation, on the other hand, keeps us grounded and focused on what truly matters. To apply this lesson practically, start by assessing your daily habits. Are there areas where you might be consuming more than you need? Could you be more mindful about wasting less and sharing more? Consider small changes like reducing food waste, giving to those in need, or even simplifying your lifestyle. These actions not only help restore balance in the world, but also bring a sense of peace and satisfaction to your heart. Think about how balance can strengthen your relationship with Allah. Just as goats thrive by living within the natural limits set for them, we thrive when we live within the boundaries Allah has established for us. This means avoiding extremes, whether in worship, work, or leisure, and striving for a life of moderation that honors both our spiritual and worldly responsibilities. The next time you see a goat grazing peacefully, remember its quiet wisdom. It's not just eating, it's living a life of balance and moderation. Let it inspire you to do the same, so you can contribute to the harmony of Allah's creation while finding contentment in your own life. Balance isn't just a principle, it's a way to live with purpose, gratitude, and mindfulness. Lesson 6. A silent symbol of resilience in community. Goats are remarkable creatures when it comes to resilience, but what makes them truly special is how they embody the strength of community. If you watch goats in a herd, you'll notice how they stick together. They climb steep terrains, navigate rocky paths, and survive harsh environments, but they rarely do it alone. This simple behavior carries a powerful message about the importance of unity and resilience in our lives. In Islam, the concept of ummah, the global community of believers, is central. Allah created us to be interdependent, to rely on one another for support and strength. Goats naturally understand this. They form tight-knit groups, not just for companionship, but for protection and survival. A lone goat is vulnerable to predators, but together the herd becomes a force to be reckoned with. This teaches us that true resilience comes from standing together, not facing life's challenges alone. Think about how often we try to tackle our problems independently. While self-reliance is important, isolation can make even the smallest struggles feel overwhelming. Goats remind us that leaning on others doesn't make us weak. It makes us stronger. Whether it's seeking advice, sharing burdens, or simply being there for someone, the strength of a community lies in its members supporting one another. In the same way, we are stronger when we stand united in faith, helping each other through life's ups and downs. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the importance of community many times. He said, "The believers in their mutual kindness, compassion, and sympathy are just like one body. When one of the limbs suffers, the whole body responds to it with wakefulness and fever." Sahih Bukhari. Goats reflect this beautifully. When one goat is in danger, others in the herd respond by surrounding it, protecting it from harm. This is a reminder of how we, as a community, should respond to one another's struggles with empathy, action, and support. Beyond their herd, goats also contribute to their larger environment. They clear overgrown brush, making way for other plants and animals to thrive. This teaches us that being part of a community isn't just about taking, it's also about giving back. Just as goats benefit their surroundings, we are encouraged in Islam to serve those around us, whether through acts of kindness, charity, or simply offering a helping hand. Resilience, as shown by goats, isn't just about enduring challenges, it's about thriving together. It's about finding strength in numbers, drawing courage from collective effort, and building a supportive environment where everyone has a chance to succeed. In our own lives, this might mean forming closer bonds with family, building stronger friendships, or participating more actively in our local communities. Even small acts like checking in on a neighbor or lending a hand to someone in need can strengthen the fabric of our community and bring us closer to the spirit of Ummah. Goats teach us that resilience in community is also about adaptability. When the herd faces a new challenge, whether it's finding a new grazing area or escaping a predator, they work together to find solutions. This adaptability is key to surviving and thriving in life. Similarly, we are reminded to be flexible and cooperative, especially when faced with difficulties. Instead of focusing on obstacles, we can lean on our community for ideas, support, and encouragement. The next time you see a group of goats moving together, think about the quiet lessons they're teaching. They remind us to value our communities, to give and receive support, and to stay resilient in the face of life's challenges. True strength isn't found in isolation. It's found in unity, cooperation, and the unshakable bonds of faith and compassion. Together, we are stronger, just as goats prove that resilience is magnified in the power of the herd. Lesson 7. A test of true generosity. One of the most profound lessons goats teach us is about generosity. Generosity in Islam is more than simply giving. It's about giving sincerely from the heart, no matter how small or large the offering. Goats, in their humble existence, serve as a beautiful symbol of this virtue, reminding us of the importance of sharing what we have, even when we might feel we have little to offer. In Islamic tradition, goats are often associated with acts of giving and sacrifice. Take, for instance, the practice of Qurbani during al-Adha. A goat may be sacrificed to honor the story of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, and his willingness to give up what was dearest to him in submission to Allah's command. This act of sacrifice isn't about the size or value of the goat. It's about the intention behind the gift. It's a powerful reminder that true generosity is measured not by the amount we give, but by the sincerity and willingness with which we give it. There's a heartwarming hadith that captures this spirit beautifully. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, once observed a poor man who owned only a small herd of goats. Despite his limited means, the man would share milk from his goats with his neighbors and those in need. The Prophet praised him, explaining that his generosity, though seemingly small, outweighed the contributions of those who gave reluctantly from their wealth. This teaches us that even the smallest act of giving can hold immense value in the sight of Allah when done with a pure heart. In our daily lives, we are often tempted to hold on to what we have, fearing it might not be enough if we give it away. But the lesson of the goat is clear. Blessings grow when they are shared. A goat produces milk not just for itself but for others, whether it's the shepherd, a family, or even a neighbor. It doesn't hoard its blessings. Instead, it offers them freely. This selflessness is a powerful example for us, encouraging us to give without hesitation, knowing that Allah promises to multiply what we give in His name. Generosity also serves as a test of our faith. It challenges us to let go of attachments and trust that Allah is the ultimate provider. The Quran reminds us, "Whatever you spend in good, it will be repaid to you in full, and you will not be wronged." Surah Al-Baqarah 272. Like the goat, which trusts its shepherd for food and care, we are reminded to trust Allah when we share from our wealth, time, or resources. True generosity stems from the belief that our giving won't diminish us. Rather, it will enrich us spiritually and materially. But generosity isn't limited to material things. Just as a goat provides warmth through its wool or companionship through its presence, we too can give in non-material ways. A kind word, a listening ear, or a helping hand can be forms of generosity that deeply impact those around us. Sometimes, the greatest gift we can give is our time, attention, and kindness. To embody this lesson, reflect on the blessings in your life and think about how you can share them. Is there a way to help a neighbor in need, donate to a charitable cause, or support someone going through a difficult time? Even small acts like sharing food or offering comfort can make a significant difference. Remember that the act itself, when done with sincerity, holds immense value in the sight of Allah. Lastly, goats remind us that generosity isn't just about what we give, it's also about how we give. A goat gives freely, without hesitation or conditions, and with humility. This is how we are encouraged to give, not seeking recognition or repayment, but purely for the sake of pleasing Allah and benefiting others. The next time you see a goat, consider the silent generosity it represents. It gives without holding back, serves without expecting a reward, and reminds us that true wealth lies in sharing what we have. Let it inspire you to be generous in all aspects of your life, because every act of giving, no matter how small, has the power to create ripples of goodness in the world. True generosity, like the goat's quiet service, leaves a lasting legacy of kindness and compassion. As we come to the end of this journey, I hope you've gained a new perspective on the humble goat. These creatures, so often overlooked, carry within them timeless lessons that resonate deeply with the core values of Islam: gratitude, resilience, generosity, and balance. They teach us how to live simply yet meaningfully, how to give selflessly, and how to trust in Allah's guidance even when the path seems uncertain. But here's the real question: how can we take these lessons and apply them to our own lives? Think about the areas where you can simplify, give more generously, or lean on your community for strength. Reflect on how you can live in harmony with the world around you, taking only what you need and leaving the rest as a blessing for others. Every time you see a goat now, let it be a gentle reminder, a symbol of resilience, trust, and balance. And let it inspire you to align your life with these values, creating a ripple effect of positivity and growth in your community. Remember, even the simplest of creatures can teach the most profound lessons. So, take these lessons to heart, act on them, and share them with others. Together, we can embody the wisdom Allah has placed in every corner of His creation. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found value in these lessons, let me know your favorite one in the comments below. And don't forget to share this video, because these lessons deserve to reach every heart. May peace and blessings be upon you, and until next time, stay inspired and stay connected to the wisdom all around us.